Good morning and welcome to your weather hazard briefing for Southeast Idaho for Tuesday, March 4th. I'm meteorologist Kevin Smith at the National Weather Service office in Pocatello. And as you can see from our title slide image here, unfortunately, it is time to start thinking about winter weather and slick driving conditions again for our forecast area as a storm system is on the way that will begin late Wednesday. So let's take a look at things here. Key points here over the next 5 days. Before we get to that storm, we do have a break for most areas. It'll be cooler out there, but mostly quiet, mostly low impact conditions over the course of today, over the course of tonight, and actually for much of the day Wednesday, even with that storm system on our doorstep. We will see a few snow showers during the morning hours this morning, stretching from craters of the moon down across the lower Snake Plain, maybe kind of the Pocatello, Blackfoot area, into portions of the southern and eastern highlands, just for a few more hours this morning. This activity has not been handled well by some of our guidance, but taking a look at some webcams and some radar and a few of our high-res models kind of picking up on it. Not expecting major impacts out of this. There may be a slushy coating of snow for a few isolated spots, maybe an inch or two of snow up in some of the higher terrain of the mountains, and that's it. Some low clouds out there, maybe an isolated patch of fog somewhere as well this morning. But other than that, again, really looking for low impact break between systems here until we get into Wednesday afternoon. Now, the next storm that we're going to start focusing on a little bit this morning, and especially as we go into tomorrow's briefing, expecting widespread elevation-dependent rain and snow to move into the region from southwest to northeast late Wednesday afternoon into Wednesday night. And this will continue throughout the day on Thursday and into early Friday morning. Still some details to work out. We'll look at a few things here, but one of the themes we're noticing right now, the heaviest snowfall out of this system is really likely to target the southern and eastern highlands. Will kind of be the winners here for snowfall, but it's still, again, going to be very elevation dependent because of the temperatures that we're expecting, ranging from values in the 40s in some of our valleys to holding below freezing in some of our higher elevations. One spot we're calling out early here right now, we are expecting a foot or more of snow to fall over Immigration Summit down there on Highway 36. And we actually have a winter storm watch that has already been issued for that area. We'll take a look at that as well. Weather risk outlook here, next 5 days. You can see the storm. It kind of looks like a 3-day event here, and that's a little misleading. Again, Wednesday, we're not expecting things to deteriorate until late afternoon or evening, depending on your location. So you can see widespread rain and snow moving into the area here late in the day. Thursday will be the brunt of this next storm system, and then we'll wrap up with some lingering snow shower activity on Friday, particularly from the Snake Plain and Magic Valley south and east, as everything will be exiting our forecast area over the course of the morning into the early afternoon, setting us up for drier conditions. Have some high pressure moving in here for the weekend. You can see here on the front end too, we did hold on to a few snow showers like we talked about here from craters of the moon down into the Snake Plain, the southern and eastern highlands. A few of those may linger even tonight here in some of our highland areas, but overall we're not too focused on this. It shouldn't be a big issue for most of you. Not a lot of snow accumulation out of this activity. Taking a look at our watches, warnings, and advisories, northern Nevada, winter storm watch has been issued for this next system. Also portions of western Wyoming. Try to give you a regional view here for those who may be traveling. And then down here you can see also a winter storm watch, this dark blue shading from our office, issued for the Bear River Range here between Preston and Montpelier, including Immigration Summit. I expect we're probably going to need some additional alerts here over other portions of southeast Idaho. It's just a little early. We may be looking at some advisories in particular for some areas. May see those issued today, may see those issued tonight as we continue to monitor the latest information and the trends in our model guidance for this system. Again, not expecting impacts out of any of this until we get into Wednesday evening into Wednesday night. Satellite this morning showing quite a bit of cloud cover. You can see some blue and white shading here over much of our forecast area in southeast Idaho. There's some higher level white clouds here on the satellite moving in from the west. So may not see completely widespread sunshine for everybody here at our break between systems. There's just quite a bit of moisture out there. And again, we're seeing a few snow showers underneath these low clouds here in southeast Idaho this morning, as evident here on the radar picture as of about 5 a.m. We do note not all of this is reaching the ground. So far, I have not seen active snowfall, for example, in Blackfoot or Idaho Falls. We have seen it on a few webcams at times here across the South Central Highlands, Georgetown Summit as well. And we've seen kind of an increase in activity out here toward Craters of the Moon. All of this not handled well by some of our guidance, but a few of our high-res models are picking up on it to some extent, and this should all continue to drift to the south and east and decrease as we head toward 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. this morning, and then we'll mostly be done with it here until our next system arrives. Here's what Sweetser Summit looked like just a short time ago. So you can certainly see some of these showers are reaching the ground. Some of it is lurking out there in a few spots, pretty isolated. But we do note that the road does not look snow-covered in this particular webcam image, confirming that the impacts out of this should be fairly localized and fairly limited with this light snow shower activity. Earlier, Georgetown, similar story, some light snow falling, but not seeing the road completely covered there on US 30. Winter Storm Severity Index today, light blue shading, kind of showing you the areas where we might see a few of those snow showers. This is probably a little generous in coverage, but generally roads so far have been fine. Grip levels have been good this morning, looking at information from the Idaho Transportation Department. And again, any impact should be very localized. High temperatures today holding cooler. You can see readings here getting up into the upper 30s, up in the upper Snake here in Island Park area, down here in the southeast, some low 40s, maybe even some mid 40s, trying to creep in here from the west across the eastern Magic Valley into the lower Snake Plain. As we go into Wednesday, very similar readings, no big temperature trends noted in our guidance here over the next few days. I'm actually going to skip ahead now to Thursday for our Winter Storm Severity Index and take a look at kind of the brunt of our next storm. As you start to see areas shaded in yellow, those are highlighting some of the areas, yellow and orange, highlighting some of the areas where we may see more moderate impacts, some more disruption to travel due to the snowfall with this next system. And you can start to already see places like Burley, American Falls up to Blackfoot, almost not shaded at all, and that's owed to those warmer temperatures holding a lot of the precipitation as rain, at least for the first half of the system. So this is going to be a very elevation-dependent snowstorm because of the temperatures that we're expecting. High temperatures on Thursday during the system. Again, no significant trends. Readings topping out above freezing for a lot of our lower elevation population centers, but pretty close for places like West Yellowstone, Island Park. Certainly as you get into the terrain here outside of some of the cities that are labeled, we're going to be looking at all snow for this event as you go up just a little bit in elevation. First look here at some storm total snow. This is from Wednesday evening, Thursday, into Friday morning. Consider it about a 36 to 40 hour period for this particular event. And again, huge ranges in snowfall. For example, an inch in Malta versus possibly a foot or more here up in the terrain just west of Malta. And you can see those huge ranges, the valleys sticking out really nicely because of the warmer temperatures and some rain mixing in. Generally less than 2 inches, if that, from the eastern Magic Valley up the Snake Plain. Not hard to see why we have that winter storm watch already out here in the Bear River Range, expecting 1 to 2 feet of snow, depending on your elevation, and temperatures should be quite cold, particularly as you get up toward the summit here, so we're calling that out early. And anywhere you see yellow or orange, we're looking at currently 6 inches or more of snowfall. So certainly places like Island Park and Ashton are going to see some impacts out of this. Victor, Pine Creek Pass, some of the passes in the Central Mountains. I know you were kind of shadowed in this last system, but you'll get in on some of these accumulations as well. So continue to monitor our forecasts and alerts as we continue to ingest the data here. We'll continue to refine this forecast and be prepared for mountain passes and some of our mountain highways to see some slick travel conditions across the region, again, starting Wednesday evening and continuing through Friday morning. High temperatures on Friday as we wrap up the system, trending just a little colder, but we'll still get above freezing in a lot of the lower elevations by Friday afternoon. And this will be setting us up for better conditions, quiet, high-pressure conditions as we head into the weekend. That's it for your briefing this morning. As always, feel free to reach out with questions, comments, or concerns, and everyone have a safe Tuesday.